Hello once again, everyone. Welcome to episode 47 of the DrunkFriend podcast. As always, we're your hosts. I'm Travis of the old NESFriend YouTube channel. That's Alex. He's SNES Drunk. And speaking of SNES Drunk, just a wonderful video, a pair of videos, came out yesterday, and it was completely unexpected, especially the longer one. I thought it really got good around 1 hour, 43 minutes. I was really impressed. I thought it really shot up right there. You know, I don't know the cinematic term for that.
You know what I mean?
It ascended toward a climax. Yeah, it was getting good.
Yeah, it was getting good. Get good, as they say in the gaming community. It was getting good. You need to get good to get good, especially 1 hour, 43 minutes. I mean, you're talking, you're in deep at that point.
It was fantastic. You know what really impressed me? How long you can hold that note. Wowee.
Well, I went to, back in when I was, I want to say when I was 6 or 7 years old, my parents they pushed me out the door, sent me to these monks out in Eastern
Tibet?
Asia. Yeah, out in Tibet. And
right.
I was, they taught me how to, I was out there for 6 or 7 years. I skipped high school. I skipped a lot of school. I still learned to speak English somehow.
That's good, though.
Yeah, it's convenient.
It's helpful with this podcast.
Oh, for the podcast, yeah. But I can speak Chinese at the drop of a hat. Actually, no. You know what? I can't speak Chinese. I just realized because they never talked. None of the monks talked.
Yeah. You had a way out, and then you almost lied. But yeah, you didn't have to learn it. But you did anyway.
I didn't have to learn it. And so as a result, I didn't have to lie. So I learned to hold my notes and my voice for 7 hours at a time, but I didn't want to bore the audience, so I just kept it at 3 hours.
I really appreciate that.
I hope most people do. I'm really happy to hear you say that because 3 hours is that's pushing the limit. But it's it's enough. It whets the appetite. As they say.
At about 10 minutes, I had my first wave of this is enough, but I stuck through until minute 13, and then I turned it off. You've done a couple other things. You had a wacky April Fool's, not typical for you, but you had a wacky one. You decided to have fun. Where did that come from? I won't say it's not typical. You've done silly videos before, but
it came from the fact that I had this music that I recorded myself back in 2007, 2006, and I was just like, well, I might as well use this to make it some sort of stupid intro and put some flames behind my logo.
It was awesome.
And do this dumb shit with all this guitar crap and all this other stuff. And
it made me want to go out and buy a motorcycle. I don't know why. I was immediately just opened another window and started Googling, can I even buy a motorcycle? Will they let you have one in COVID? I don't even know how it works. But I thought that that was really interesting, and because we've never seen anything like it. Watching your channel.
I'm glad. That's the idea. You're not supposed to see anything else like it.
Sure,
because
yeah.
That's the idea. That's what you're supposed to do. No, I had this music that I recorded, and it's way back when, and it's a long story behind it. But I just wanted to make use of it and do something with that stuff, and just kind of have fun.
Is that you shredding? That's
it is. Yeah.
Guitar? Wow.
I used to play guitar. I used to have a Jackson PS4, super low action, 24 frets, a Floyd Rose bridge, all that nonsense. Just it's one of those guitars where you can't help but play 1,000 miles an hour the second you sit down with it.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's just this guitar is absurd. But
you don't play as much anymore. That makes me sad because it sounded like you have some talent.
I mean, I guess it's one of those things where it's hard to be it's yes. I've played guitar since I was 12, and I've played Metallica and Slayer and Cannibal Corpse and all that metal nonsense. I grew up with it. But at the same time, I kind of grew out of that when I was, 17, 18, and I wanted to play more.
Morrissey, yeah.
Morrissey
and the Eurythmics. You got really into that stuff.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Exactly, yeah.
Boy,
So,
I can't even do the Hetfield, not do the Hetfield without.
Who am
I to disagree?
That's a very good cover. I wish you'd do it. But no, I think that's interesting. So you're able to find a home for that music that you recorded some time ago. Which is cool.
I love metal. I love cheesy metal. I love power metal. I love that, Iron Maiden style metal. And I love playing, I'm super out of practice now. I have not even touched any guitar. I still play guitars every, once in a while. I have my acoustic and my electric. It's an Ibanez AXS 32, which is, I traded my Jackson in for that, what was that, 10 years ago? More than 10 years ago. And that was, just to kind of change my style of playing. I wanted to be more of a rhythm player and just have fun playing instead of being a million miles an hour, like a Slayer, Kerry King kind of a thing. It's this is dumb. This is not fun for me. This is just constant sweat. I don't want to do this anymore.
It's a lot of practice. So yeah.
It wasn't fun, but I gave that up. So I got an Ibanez instead, and I love this guitar. That's my electric guitar that's I've had for a while. But yeah, anyway,
very cool. And then to move it along here, you also got that Flintstones treasure of Sierra Madrock. Madrock,
yeah, as opposed to Sierra Madre.
Oh, of course. Oh, I see now. Yes. Okay.
Like the movie or the book, I guess, from the 1920s. But or
the city in California.
That's actually a pretty good game. Taito knew what they were doing with the Hanna-Barbera territory back then.
Yeah, they had some good ones on the NES too. Yeah.
Yes, it's the game itself. The platforming sections are so basic, but sometimes basic works. Sometimes it's pretty good. As long as it looks good and the controls are good, it's fine.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fine. It works. What are you doing? You don't got a video?
I didn't do anything.
No video?
I didn't do anything. I got a big one coming out next weekend. Yep. You know how I do. I take a big break for an amalgamation of good video-ness. I actually haven't had time to work on a ton of videos in a while because work has been kicking my ass. I wanted to double back real quick though because what? Or can you say anything about Space Football 1-on-1? Which was the title of the video that you cheesed up there.
Oh, is that the game I was talking about?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I guess.
What was the game that was... Hang on just a second. You might have to edit this out. I'm so sorry.
Just creating work. God damn.
Oh, Space Football 1-on-1 is a ripoff of the game Ball Blazer, which was made for Atari 7800, and I think there's a version for it on Commodore 64. Those versions of it are fun and actually wow. These are ahead of their time. They're split screen multiplayer one-on-one games that are kind of fun. Space Football 1-on-1 is a ripoff of that on Super Nintendo, and it's fucking garbage. It's just utter trash, and it's not fun, not good. You have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea where you're going. It's just a disaster. It's there's a reason nobody talks about it. Nobody knows about it. Sometimes hidden gems remain hidden for a reason, Trav.
And they're not even gems. They're just hidden garbage.
They're just garbage, and they're just rolled up newspapers and Snickers wrappers, thrown away way back in the day.
Okay.
And they're just laying there and rotting in the street, rotting in the gutter. That's what they do.
All right. Thanks for giving me the backstory on trash. Next up, we have some emails. We got Rob, our buddy Rob. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Of the Classic Gaming Podcast.
That's right.
He's a guy that plays some guitar. He says,
he does? He's really good, yeah.
Yes, he is. He's fun to watch. He says, how about that new Ninja Turtles game, right? Rob.
And we got this back in like the middle of March. And yeah, how about it? It looks freaking awesome. I cannot wait to play it. I'm really excited. It really got the juices flowing when I saw the video because it is 4-player, and I have a lingering feeling that they're holding a few things back. Like maybe April O'Neil is a playable character, maybe Casey Jones, maybe Splinter. Has Splinter ever been a playable character in a Ninja Turtles game?
It's a good question, and I will say this: the guy to ask. I'm going to reference my other podcast, Polykill. We had a guy that because we do the beats. If you beat a game, you tweet us. We call you out. We had a guy who went through. He beat every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video game that exists in 1 month. And there's a lot more than you think. So we'd have to ask him. He beat every one of them, which is like 40 games.
It's that many? Holy crap.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I would not have guessed 40. I would have guessed like 15. Holy cow.
I know. He found one, and let's talk about this one first, but he found a different one I want to talk about. But Shredder's Revenge, I agree, looks great. It looks like the Turtles game we've been needing for at least, 30 years at this point?
Super fun.
20
it looks
years at
so
least?
good. It's got that 16-bit arcade-style audio, the visuals. It's got the great music, and I cannot wait. I got, charged up when I saw it. Really excited, and yeah.
Yeah,
even
the little intro animation. I mean, they knew exactly who they were talking to. They're talking to the people who grew up with the 80s stuff. They have the old 80s logo there, which I'll admit, I still see that logo. There's a little part of, the little kid that's still inside of me somewhere still gets excited to see that classic logo because that was on all the toys I wanted. It was on the cartoon I loved. So I still get excited to see that stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty jazzed for this.
Let me bring this up, though. What is it about it that with something like this, what's the difference between pandering and like actually getting you jazzed? Because something about this actually got us jazzed without it being pandering. How does it work? How does it work that way?
I think
it's not pandering.
Yeah, there was something about there wasn't any language to it. They just showed us something. And they were like, huh?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
And I think, they didn't have to say anything. They were like, we know exactly what people that fell in love with this franchise when it was first huge. We know what they want. And that's what they showed us.
There's not a guy like Reggie, what's his name, from Nintendo coming out in front of the camera saying like, we know you want Ninja Turtles and like, or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
It's just, here's the freaking game. Yeah,
we sold ourselves on it because we saw it and we were like, that does look great. We didn't.
So that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. we didn't get a sales pitch that we could pick apart, which is usually pretty good. But I want to bring up another game, and this again I want to reference. He goes by Corpse Flood on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy that beats tons. He beats tons of games. It's insane.
He does.
He said when he got to the very end of his campaign of beating all the Turtles games, he found another one. He had a bonus game. He found a fan-made game online called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rescue Palooza. He said it was the best one of all of them that he played. So this is coming from the guy that is legitimately qualified to say this. He says it's the best Ninja Turtles game, stem to stern, which is a term I like.
Of course.
It has 60 playable characters. I couldn't name 60 characters in the Turtles universe, but I know there's a ton. I know the comic books have a ton of that stuff. 17 stages, 4 bonus stages, 4-player local co-op, graphics, voice clips from the TV show, rideable vehicles, countless references to the original TMNT cartoon and toy line. It came out on Steam in the middle of 2019. So I want to play that, too.
I don't blame you. That sounds fucking awesome.
Let me shoot you the link real quick. You're probably over there looking for it. Let me just...
I'm looking at the site right now. It's like on some weird website. It looks
Merso
like it came
X
out a couple
or something
years ago. Yeah, Merso X.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that website. It kind of gives me like weird creepy vibes. Like it also is funding a cult of some kind. But the game looks great, and if you click beyond that, it shows you more screenshots and stuff, and I think that's great. I think that's awesome. So this is another one that I want to try in the Turtles sphere.
Well, it's got the. I remember seeing a video of this, and I remember thinking, this is me being pedantic 16-bit nerd dork
classic
guy.
classic Alex, yeah, of course.
Yeah, classic Alex. And I'm like, that top row is taking up too much screen real estate. Like, there's too much stuff there. Like, if you're only playing one player, like, get rid of the press start on the other stuff. Like, just get rid of it. Like, just leave the other things there. I don't know. That's just me.
So it's a big no from you. Too much.
No, it is not a big no from me. That's like my one big flaw. That I get annoyed with that kind of thing where it's cluttering the screen. Where it's like, please wait, please press start. It's like, why do I have to stare at this the entire 90 minutes I'm playing this game? It's just, get out of the way. Like,
no,
nobody else is going to play. I'm a loser. I'm playing this by myself in my own house. Like, get out of the way. Like, I don't know.
No, I get it. I think that's actually a pretty valid comment. But I think the excuse I'll give this one is that it was made by maybe a guy or two, and I can appreciate that because I think it's got a lot going for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's made by true fans,
I mean,
which is what you want.
Saying. Yeah, for sure. Like, that's amazing work by the people that made this, for sure.
I want to try it out. It's gotten a good review.
And the just from the screenshots, and it's very clearly made by people that really love Ninja Turtles. Like, they not only like the TV series, but like the NES games. Like, they even incorporate like the stage settings of the NES games,
like the snow level,
the sewers and stuff like that, the Turtles in Time settings. So it is Rescue Palooza. Yeah, it really looks fantastic. Like, for what it's worth.
Actually, I might try to play that pretty soon. Every time I click on this website, I get excited. But yeah, good question, Rob. You sent us down a rabbit hole.
Great question. Yeah,
turtle hole.
Turtle hole.
Then we got Jeff here. Jeff says, "Hey guys, long time listener here."
I was trying to do my butthead laugh there.
Oh, was that your butthead? You sound like Butthead's dad from the movie. It's a great movie.
I used to do a really good Beavis. But then puberty hit and it just went away. Let me try it again right now. I'm going to try it. Okay?
Let's hear that Beavis.
Nah, not quite the same.
You sound like Beavis crossed with like a drunk Joker. Or like I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
But it was close.
Okay, we got an email from Jeff. He says, "Hey guys, I have a question for you guys. Growing up, I never owned a Super NES and missed a ton of classics. I did have access to one through friends, but typically only played casual games such as Contra 3, Mortal Kombat 2, or Turtles in Time. Games like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, and Link to the Past I had never played. How do you think is the best way to experience and appreciate these games without having any nostalgic compassion and that it is well past their time? Thank you guys so much and keep up the good work. P.S. I recently watched the Sega CD vid Alex posted and it answered a question I had been seeking, since I was a child. I owned a EGM magazine as a kid and was fascinated by the game Snatcher, but had forgotten the title. Upon watching the video, I jumped out of my seat with excitement, finally knowing the answer. Thanks again for all that you do. Thanks, Jeff. That's really cool, Jeff. Thanks for the great email. That's one thing that I always wanted to do. The Sega CD video for me was always something that I've been wanting to do since I was a kid, to be honest with you. I've always wanted to just do a big dive into all the stuff that Sega CD had to offer, and playing Snatcher was honestly like such a treat, and I was not expecting that game to be that good. I was like, whoa, this game is like head and shoulders above anything and everything above what I was expecting in this catalog. It was so much fun to just dive into that world, and just, I say it all the time in videos and stuff like that, but it's a world you just want to hang out in. You just want to hang out in the Snatcher world. It's so freaking cool. But as far as your question goes, like games like Chrono Trigger and the Final Fantasy games and Link to the Past and stuff you've never played, The best way to experience is any way you can, any way, and anything you're comfortable with. Like, if you want to sit in front of your computer and play it with an iBuffalo USB controller on SNES 9X, go ahead, do it that way. If you want to hack your SNES Classic and play it on a TV in your living room, do it that way. If you want to use your original Super Nintendo with a flash cartridge and play it on your TV that way, do it that way. Like, just any way you can. That's the whole point of the saying. Just whatever works for you, man.
Yeah, I obviously play it any way you can. I think it's also somewhat important to detach your expectations from what hype people put around these games, especially the ones you listed, like Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, like that SNES Drunk guy is put onto it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just anyone, like A Link to the Past, stuff like that, because people talk those games up, and you would think, man, these things are probably perfect, and you might actually not like them. I mean, you probably will. You'll like at least one of those games, but I would just go in there, try to have a clean slate, and have some perspective that these games, no matter how good they are, they came out 30 years ago. They're not perfect, but you'll still probably have fun. So just, try to detach yourself from the hype and just enjoy it.
That's a really good point.
All right. And thank you, Jeff. That was a great email. Let's move on to Jono here. It's been a while since we've heard from Jono. He says, hey there, drunk friends. This is going to be quick and simple. What are the 7 deadly sins of video games? Examples: unskippable cutscenes, no checkpoints on multi-stage bosses, etc. Have a great day, John. I like how Jono just gives us homework and he's like, have a great day. Well, thanks, Jono, for all the work. But no, that's a fun, interesting email. I don't know if I could come up with 7. But
he named one right off the bat. It was just unskippable cutscenes.
Yeah, get that out of here.
Fuck that.
Get that out of here.
Move it out of the earth.
You know what really grinds my gears? When modern games make me use the R3 or L3 buttons for anything that's common. I hate those buttons. Don't make me press in the stick.
What modern game has done that?
I can't think off the top of my head, but there have been some times where I'm like, I don't want to use this fucking button. Because I'll end up pushing it when I don't mean to.
What would have used that? I only play super popular stuff that my girlfriend gets, so I don't get a whole lot of exposure to, like, all that stuff. But I'm interested in knowing, like, what game would actually use those buttons for something that's like essential. That's crazy to me. But no checkpoints. Yeah, that's a deal breaker. The one I hate is one I ran into lately. Oh, it was Mega Man and Bass. You've got a boss that is 7. That is 4 bosses deep. You got to beat the boss 4 times, basically. You got to beat one boss 2 times, and then you got to beat another boss another 2 times, and it's absurd, and it's insanely hard every time. It's just
that's the worst.
Screw that. No, Mega Man games tend to lay on the difficulty really thickly, and it's just not worth it. It's sometimes you're just like, I could be out planting trees and planting flowers and making the world a better place, but instead I'm playing Mega Man. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which you're known to do as an arborist. I see you out there all the time.
I'm a big Arbor Day guy, obviously.
I've heard you talk about it. I don't think that it's necessary to have a countdown timer on the continue screen for a game I own in my home. You don't have to boss me around like that. Give me a minute to get a drink and go piss. Why do we got to count shit down? I'm in my house. I'm the only one playing this.
That's a great point. That was a thing with Final Fight for SNES, and it feels like they just like slapped that on there and just left it there. They were just like, all right, well, this is from the arcade. This is...
Yeah. They give you that real arcade under duress feeling that you need to find more quarters.
It's just like, that's a good point. Totally pointless.
Yeah, I was just playing Golden Axe last night on the Genesis. I actually I finally beat that game, first time in my life. But there's always that countdown timer when you want to use a continue, and it's like, first of all, yes, I want to use a continue. Why are we here? Yeah. Who said, nah, I'll just I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I want to start over from the beginning. Let's do that instead.
It has a yes and a no. It doesn't need the timer. If the logic is okay, we'll count it down. If you don't say yes after 9 seconds, we'll just take you back to the menu screen. Maybe you could do something else. But it's like, if there's a no option, you don't have to give me a timer. I get to choose if I want to keep going or not. I'm still upset about it. I'm sorry I keep going. I'm talking in circles.
No. This has got to be, we need to have a guest on that had a say in these games. That
what were you thinking?
Make these decisions and do this kind of crap and be like, what the hell were you thinking?
We can do.
Why were you doing this?
We can finally do what
we
James
need
Rolfe.
Answers.
Yeah, James Rolfe has been asking, what were you thinking, for 12 years. And it would be great maybe if we start answering those questions.
He's been asking that for 15 years at this point.
Gosh, is it 15? For 15 years.
We're old.
If we can start answering some of his age-old questions, maybe we could get him on the show. We'd be like, listen, James, we got some answers to some of your questions.
Maybe.
We can get him on here. Maybe.
Probably not.
I mean, it's worth a shot. It's better than going to him now and being like, we have nothing to offer. Would you like to be on the show? We could say, hey, we found out a few of what, we got some things that they were thinking.
What? That's the carrot you're going to dangle in front of his, like, oh, we found out some answers.
We got some
stuff that you're...
We have some information we could distill into a tweet, but we want you on our show to tell you about it to your face. Please? I would say
to
please.
Your face via podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't think of any more though. I mean, other than something like, I don't like when a game forces me. I think we talked about this last time we talked. I don't like when a game forces me to go into a menu to do something that a button could toggle. Like if it's switching weapons or something.
Yeah,
don't like that. I don't want the action to stop. I just want to be able to put my sword away, pull out my slingshot or whatever.
Put my sword away, pull out my slingshot.
You never know.
Yeah. Because, well, you know what? I think in this case I do know, because I think I would want a sword 100% of the time ahead of a slingshot.
Oh, how are you gonna hit that guy out of the tree with your sword?
I'd throw my sword at him. I'd throw my sword at him.
Yeah, you got your sword stuck in a tree. Yeah. Slingshot has infinite ammo.
I'd go and get it. What am I, lazy?
Now you have to use your slingshot to get your sword out of the tree, you idiot.
So what? So I'm a big buff guy, like in the Golden Axe. I could go get my sword.
Yeah.
It's not going to make for a very good video game, but it's going to make for a realistic experience that is immersive to the player.
We should make a game where you just get stuff unstuck from trees. I mean, a lot of my childhood was just trying to get things down from places I couldn't reach. I think it's kind of... There's a game there. You know how many times you get the basketball stuck between the rim and the backboard, and you had to, first you would always jump, even though you know you couldn't touch it. It's like, it's 10 feet up there. You're like 2 feet from it. The wind off your hand didn't even touch it.
No, that's why you always need to own drumsticks, because...
or two basketballs.
If you're a musician, if you play guitar, when you go to the guitar store, you always buy drumsticks, because drumsticks are so useful. And you go and poke the basketball with the drumstick when it gets stuck between the rim, and it works every time.
That's a man with a lot of experience talking. I admire it.
No, that's just a musician talking right there. That's all it is.
I just had two basketballs. I had my shooting basketball and my getting the other basketball unstuck basketball. Took them everywhere I went.
That's great.
But yeah, all right, that does it for emails. We got a big old long interview coming up with a guy that I'll guarantee none of you have heard of, except maybe one or two that I've told about already. But you're going to be real excited to hear this guy, because he's kind of a fun discovery for us, and I think his channel is going to be a huge delight to you if you go and check it out. We're talking to a guy who goes by VeryCoolGuyMike, and I think my verdict at the end of this, he's a pretty cool guy. He's a pretty cool guy.
It's all right.
All right.
No, he's a very cool guy.
All right, Guy Mike. All right.
I Guy Mike.
Good evening, Very Cool Guy Mike. And for listeners, we will be trying tonight to determine just how cool Mike is. But Mike, thank you for coming on our show tonight. How have you been, and have you been on a podcast before?
I have never been on a podcast. I'm going to reverse the order of answering that. I've never been on a podcast, and I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Just all right.
So this is your podcast cherry is being popped right now.
Wow.
Yep. Just I don't. Yeah, it's popped. So this is great. This is great.
Wow.
This is very exciting for me.
I will say it's exciting for us
too.
Yeah. This is incredible. I want to tell everyone how I found you, because you're interesting in that you have a smaller YouTube channel. It's very new. It just kicked off. It's still growing immediately, but you followed me on Twitter, and I don't always click on who's following. That's the thing. I don't think a lot of us do. I don't go down the rabbit hole
right.
and stalk everyone on Facebook. I don't even have Facebook, but I don't stalk everyone that follows me. But you popped up, and I was like, "Very cool guy, Mike. How cool is this guy? I got to find out." So I click, and you got some things listed there, like musician, gamer. You've got like everything listed there that every other guy has listed there. And I was like, doesn't really seem that cool to me. But then I see down there it says, "Follow me for stuff." And I was like, I like stuff. Let me check this shit out. So I click on this YouTube link. The first video I see, and we're going to get to it later, I'm laughing my ass off. I immediately tell I'm like, Alex, look, you got to see this shit. I just found a 30-second video that made me laugh super hard. You have to see it. So
I think it was the Link video that we'll get to later, the Ocarina of Time one.
Yeah,
and
50 Shades
I
of Grey.
also laughed my ass off. And I went, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is doing Shin Megami Tensei memes in 2021. I need some more of this. Sure enough, some of your stuff had me not only had me cracking up, but had me like going back to watch like for days afterward, because the little songs you make, they're like commercial jingles.
Yeah, just
like they're like they're almost like commercials for the game, because they're like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and they get stuck in your head. And so for like 3 days, I'm walking around going, yeah, I'm a cop, yeah. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah, I'm very surprised with how many people like were hearing these songs, because to me it's like, I love doing like these short form songs, and I also think that short memes is what like can really like grow a fan base. Not for me, for a game, because people weren't like making Shin Megami Tensei like memes or songs or anything. People weren't really appreciating the silly parts of it. So, it's fun. It was fun for me. A good opportunity.
That's a great point. It makes me think like now what other games, because now that you mention it, like Earthbound has memes coming out its ears, basically. Like Earthbound is a meme game. Like if I were to describe Earthbound to somebody, I would call it a brown game, which is a Ween reference. But it's what other games do you think are meme worthy of that era or of any era? What games need more memes?
Honestly, it's RPGs. Like, I'm currently playing Grandia, and like, man, the NPCs of those games, like, they really make it. I love Super Nintendo games because they had to try to like make the world feel alive by putting in as many different people saying as many different things. Some games it falls flat, some games it didn't, but I feel like that kind of like really like those RPGs from that era, they had to like, start the path. So any of those like non-Mario RPGs onwards, because then like PlayStation 1, all of those RPGs are like so, I don't know, there's just like so many, just I don't want to call them dumb, but they're dumb. They're just dumb NPCs just saying stupid stuff. In Grandia, there's a dude named AWOL Joe, and his whole shtick, he's only in one part. He's only in one part of the game, and like his whole thing is bragging about how little work he does for the army. That like they find it, like they give him work, and then they can never find him again. And it's like, how are you still employed? This is stuff that's like so funny. Like you could show these people off, and it's like these are like, the diamonds in the rough for these games. So that's my personal take on it.
Sounds like a King of the Hill character or something. That's,
yeah.
Or Pauly Shore from In the Army Now. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I came across you in a very unique way. I just happened to come across and was like, wow, this guy needs more viewers. He needs more attention. And then you were speaking about those RPGs just now. I can't help but think when I see a funny interaction with an NPC, I got to send it to Very Cool Guy Mike. And I did that the other day. I was playing through Breath of Fire, and one of the NPCs says, I have a craving for nuts, but they don't grow on palm trees. That's a pretty benign statement, but I was like, man, Very Cool Guy Mike could get a hold of that. It'd be pretty funny. So I had to send you the screenshot. So you're now just a meme dumpster for me, and I'm sorry.
No, that's great because actually so I love watching Travis's videos because so many NES games had to, I'm just going to say, what is it? Home Alone 2. I know you didn't enjoy Home Alone 2, but as I watch it, I'm like, everything about this has so much potential to just, it just, gets my creative juices flowing. I'm like, okay, he's Samus jumping onto, this is Macaulay Culkin. Samus jumping onto these tiny little, when is he going to be doing that? There's I guess burglars or homeless men or somebody just hiding in bushes trying to smack children. This is it's so fun. It was so funny, and I'm just watching it and it's you're not having a good time, Travis, but I can't help but think that those are what make it funny in retrospect.
Sure. I'm sorry. I was going to say the direction I was going to go was not Home Alone 2. That's for damn sure.
Home Alone.
It's funny that that's the first place your mind went to was freaking Home Alone 2. What? What?
Yeah, for sure. A Twin Eagle too. I was like, oh wait, I gotta find that abortion line. I gotta get it. I gotta get all these things.
That's right. Wow, that's a throwback. The
Big
abortion
throwback.
line. That you're going back to last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one line in Gold City in Secret of Mana where most RPGs always have a jerk character where they're upset that you're in their town. But there's one that's really upfront about it in Gold City and Secret of Mana. I can't remember what they say off the top of my head, but it's something like, "Hello, welcome to Gold City. Wait a minute, why am I talking to you? Go away," or something like that. And it's just that makes me laugh every time I hear it because I imagine that conversation happening to me in real life when I walk into a coffee shop or something. What are you doing here? Get out! I can't wait.
Secret of Mana is another one that's on my list, especially when you fall down the hole the first time and there's just that one kid just shaking his ass in the corner, I'm scared. It's all right, I try not to be too similar with all my videos.
You gotta throw some beats behind that for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we've gone on a bit. I don't know that we've actually described your YouTube channel to the folks yet, but
we might want to do that.
I apologize.
Yeah, what you have here, if you go check out Very Cool Guy Mike's YouTube channel there, which I don't think you have a custom URL to just yet, but
I do now. I do.
Oh, you do? Is it
excellent?
YouTube.com/whatever Very Cool Guy Mike?
Yep, Very Cool Guy Mike. Finally got
Very cool. Well, if you go there, you're going to see a litany of videos, just a whole big bunch of videos. They're all pretty short, most of them pretty short. And I would just call these video memes. They're just sections of the game that you probably didn't think about, or maybe you chuckled at if you played these games. Maybe you didn't even play the games. You can still enjoy it. And then there's something about it that stuck with Mike, and he made it funny as hell. He added some music to it, some effects, really highlighted the silly moment in the game, and then it gets into your brain, and it doesn't leave for weeks. And all you can think about is Very Cool Guy Mike videos. Is that how you would describe it, Very Cool Guy Mike?
Yeah, actually, I would. I would be like, somebody who is better with words can describe this, and whatever they say, that is what I'm going to think of my channel. Exactly.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
Very cool.
I'm gonna checks in the mail.
Thank you. Well, I was going to add to that and say that, and I brought it up a little bit earlier, but it is a bit unusual that we bring someone on who doesn't really have an established channel in terms of been around a while and a lot of people know or whatever. So, I mean, this is unique in that we feel like we've discovered something that's going to be big, which I think is very exciting. And so, with that, I got to ask, what motivated you to even start going down the YouTube path?
I was streaming in 2015, didn't really like it because I was a music streamer who improvised music. every day, and it was very rough. Like it would just be like somebody's name. I would make a song about somebody's name. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Whatever. I didn't like it. I was thinking like Ness Friends, but not Nintendo. Ness is the nickname of the Loch Ness monster. Travis is a cryptid hunter. Bam! Just sing a song about that. Now you hunt. I would just try to find like an angle and just sing, but it was exhausting, and I didn't really like it. And the people that
it's improv though.
In,
that's a big deal.
That's hard to do. That's a steep difficulty curve.
Yeah, and that's all I do. Like I don't write.
Wow.
I don't really write. It's the song has to come to me, and yeah. So the viewers that were coming in, they were nice, but they, if I would sing something serious or like try to do something different, oh my God, it was like, oh, Mike, this is horrible. What's wrong with you? I was like, all right, fine, screw you guys. I'm gonna go do game development.
That sucks. Yeah, that's awful.
So you're going to go do something harder now, is what you just said.
Yeah, I went towards game development because I like to. I don't know. I have like other fun game ideas, and I just like making things. So spent 5 years of that absolutely failing because I didn't want to just use RPG Maker, but unfortunately I just don't like learning programming. I'm just not, I tried for so long, for all those years, and the best thing I made was a 30-second long FMV game. That was the only thing I finished, and I was like burnt
30
out.
seconds?
It was 30 seconds long.
That's a quick beat.
I was burnt out because I was like, I'm tired. The pandemic came. I was thinking, do I even really want to make games? I'm spending all this time learning or teaching myself how to draw. I'm barely playing music anymore. And then I see on sale, because I had some money, I see on sale a synthesizer called the Jupiter XM. It's a Roland. It's a really awesome synthesizer. It's one of the few that I have. But the thing with this one is that it has a built-in speaker. So all of a sudden, I was just playing all the time. I was just making up stupid songs about everything. I'm not going to go into that either. But
like the kind of stuff that you would do around the house, like if you're bored and you're just in a singy mood, and just anything you see is in a song suddenly, right? Stuff like that.
The first thing, yeah. The absolute. One of the songs I wrote was about the old man in the sea and how I got revenge for him against the sharks that ate his fish. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, like that one's on my SoundCloud. I don't think people should listen to that one, if I'm being honest. But it was fun, and I was watching a streamer, and he was playing Silent Hill. He's not good at it, but I liked watching, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna record the footage because there is a weird part in Silent Hill where if you use an item on an enemy that you can't hit, it will corrupt the scene. It will skip the whole part, corrupt the scene, and you don't need a cheat code for it or anything. It's like a speedrunning tactic. And then as I was playing through it, I just see Konami Burger, and I'm like, Konami, meet me down to Konami Burger. And I posted. I was like, man, yeah, that was fun. I posted it, and then I was like, all right, let me go to the Silent Hill subreddit, see what they think about it. And then 300 views. I was like, oh, 300 people, they watched my video. I was like, man, 5 years, nobody knew anything I was doing, and I post something and 300 views.
That's a big deal, dude. Man.
Yeah, you get that motivation,
I know you're
right?
joking, but like that's like to get like that's a lot of people. Like think how many people 300 people is.
Yeah.
Like that's like how many like that will fill the street that I'm looking out my window right now.
Yeah,
like, that's an insane amount of people. But I wanted to ask you though, like one thing I love about, I keep referencing the I'm a Cop song because it gets stuck in my head.
That's my favorite one.
And one of the reasons is because it sounds like some sort of like post-punk dark wave kind of a thing, like Susie and the Banshees, like early 80s kind of a thing with like this sweet bass line, and it's got this like creepy synth around it. And like, so I wanted to ask like what your musical influences were. Like what kind of stuff do you listen to for fun?
For fun, I I don't really listen to music like Future Police, which is what I named the song. I guess it just has the name of the video. I listen to a lot of experimental music, and then music that at the time would have been considered more experimental. So like, I'm not like a fan of artists. I'm a fan of albums. So like The Moon in Antarctica by Modest Mouse, We Have the Facts and We're Voting Yes by Death Cab for Cutie. This is all like, these were all
Okay.
like, like Minus the Bear. For that particular song though, I think like one of my biggest influences was probably Cursive's album The Ugly Organ. I love that album, and as I'm like just thinking to myself like, man, this is like something about this is just getting me like going on like a screaming rant. If you guys haven't heard it, like that album is very good, and it's a concept album about an artist who's just essentially just a big piece of shit, but it's very experimental in the way that they put it together and in like the instruments and like the tones and whatnot. So it really is, yeah, I don't know, like it comes from just like a place of it comes from a place of experimentation. That's where like my influences come from. So it's like, oh, you know, this would be cool if I was like suddenly aggressive, and I, instead of being like, you know, singing kind of like smooth, I'm just like, yeah, I'm a cop, yeah.
Well, that's you're reflecting the cop's energy, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that when that's what I like about it, is that you're giving life to these enemies and these NPCs, and Shin Megami Tensei is perfect for that.
Absolutely.
Because these guys. It's so expressive. It's such an expressive game, and I can't wait. If you plan on like playing the sequel, it's got even more of that, which is even funnier. I didn't finish that game, but I finished the first one. By the way, I want to, just as an aside, your stats are maxed to hell on the first game. How many hours did you put into that game?
I put approximately 14 hours into the game, playing it fairly. And then I was like, you know what? I am sick. I cannot my turning point. Okay, I was in a dungeon. I was exploring, and there's a lot of dead ends for no reason, just because.
Yeah, no, there's empty rooms. There's just, you know how, for the listeners out there, you know when you like play like Breath of Fire, like Travis mentioned earlier, like you just go into a house and there's just nobody there.
I hate that shit.
Like, right, like imagine like that with a first person perspective, where you still run into random battles, and you just like go into a room and there's just nothing there, and then you get turned around, and then you get disoriented and you don't know where you are, and like, what direction am I facing? Where am I? It's so annoying. It is one of the most annoying games I've ever played.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was my what is it? The straw that broke my back, not the camel's back, my back, was I found one of those dead ends. I turned around, random battle. Okay, not a big deal. Take one step forward into the next room. 3 random battles in a row. All right, okay, sure. Okay, it's just 3. It's just 3, whatever. I take one more step, another 3. Okay, fine. I can't be this unlucky. One more step, and that was it. I was like, okay, no more. I can't keep doing these. I am turning the random battles off, and I'm maxing my stats.
And how long does it take in real time to get through those? Like, that's like a total of like 30 minutes right there. Like all those battles. People
will say like, oh, there's a stoma, which is there's a stoma, and there's what is the other auto battle? But it's like I still have to sit here and fight the same.
You still sit there and do nothing. Breath of Fire has the same thing. It has an auto battle function, and it's like, so what? I still have to sit here and stare at the screen until it's over.
For the first few Shin Megami Tensei games, and I know I get flack for it on like forums, on like Reddit, if I'll be like, yeah, you know what, the story's really good, but the combat's kind of annoying. So even with max stats, I can't win a battle in one shot. It doesn't work that way. It's all like equipment based. So I was like, I just told myself, all right, you know what? I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm not playing through this game fairly anymore. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I just want to play the story so I can get to the future, playthroughs, like the future games, which I do intend on playing because I love the series, but I just never played through the earlier ones.
Right on.
So what did you end up doing? Did you do like some sort of patch or something like that?
Game Shark. All
right. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Game Shark. Hey, if you know what, I can't be the first person to think, hey, I don't want to do any of the random battles because there's like 30,000 like no random battles max level codes. All right, so I'm going to be honest with it. I'm not ashamed, all right? I just care about the story. I don't want a random battle anymore.
I just wish I could retroactively apply like some sort of like improvement patch to all RPGs that has like Earthbound's function of you're already powerful enough to beat this enemy. Let's skip this battle and keep going.
That's amazing.
It's like
every game needs that. Every game needs that.
Yes, every RPG needs. Yeah, every game needs. Contra needs that.
Contra. I'm not good enough to play Contra, but so I need that.
There you go. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you're just out here trying to make memes. You don't need to be playing these games for hours and hours. We need more memes.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to. You mentioned in our warm up part of the show where we were bullshitting that you're an audio guy. I don't really know what that means. What's your history with audio? You got a lot of fancy equipment. You evidently you like making music. You did some stuff on Twitch. Like, what does audio guy do? Where does that come from?
Well, I went to college for like television and radio, and I don't know. I like working in studios, and I like working on like, I guess I would say student films is the most that I got very annoyed with working with auteurs, so I kind of stopped working with them like very early on, but I always like being able to make my short videos, make my short sketches. I still end up like collecting a lot of stuff. And even though over the years I wasn't really playing games or making as much music, I definitely still was making things, with all of this like tech that I have. And I like synthesizers. I'm more of a guitar guy personally, but I love synthesizers, and I have a lot of them because they work in tandem. So that's what I consider an audio guy for me. It's like just I like working around sound. I like doing things.
Is that translated into your career? Do you do that as for a living?
No, and I don't know if I want to anymore. After thinking, after really like reevaluating my life. Look, I have not many good things to say about COVID, but the one thing I will say is that it gave me a mental reset and made me think like, why am I doing this? Why am I working with and for ungrateful people? If you know who I am, please don't tell my job. Please don't tell my job I'm saying this. Or tell them, whatever, I don't care. But that's essentially like what that's what I see like with it. I'm kind of a hobbyist, but I had not an elitist. What's the opposite of a hobbyist? I don't know. I had a desire. I had a drive. I wanted to be working in a studio. I wanted to be working on like film sets or TV sets doing audio. I wanted to do all that stuff. I wanted to make the scores for films. Now, not so much. Now I just like making things for, me and people that ask for it that aren't obnoxious.
Right on. Yeah, so you get to flex your own creative energies and you don't have to, take what everyone else is telling you to do and do that instead, huh?
Yeah, or butt heads is what I would think. Just be stubborn and be like, fine, I'll do it, whatever, sure. But I'm going to be passive-aggressive about it. Yeah, so that's the sound of me making music. So...
Speaking of that, you making me laugh as you've been doing, your style of humor is certainly up my alley. It's pretty silly. It's kind of that, especially when we're dealing with these video games, it's observational stuff. It's pretty funny. It's simple in a lot of ways, but also I would consider it pretty clever. Do you have any inspirations when it comes to humor or even just the style of video that you're making?
I can't even think of like YouTubers that like influence me. It's a lot of sketch comedy. I like the
There you
Whitest
go.
Kid You Know.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Whitest Kid You Know for sure. Like I like stuff that is kind of maybe obvious, but also obnoxious, but funny, and it's like in like clever way, because you wouldn't think of making a mundane thing funny by just taking one piece and making it not even absurd, but just violent, just like so ridiculously I still think of the Whitest Kid You Know sketch where I think it's Sam. Yeah, Sam is like the boss to Darren, and he's making Darren draw what he did on the weekend. Like, and it's just like so aggressive. It's not even like as absurd as it is just like angry. And that I think is like that's very influential to me. And then there's like a lot of, I guess, webcomics. Webcomics are also very influential to me. So I think that
Interesting.
shorter stuff that is like, you envision it and then you just kind of put it together. That's I don't know. I draw a lot of the frames in my mind and then on my drawing tablet first. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, everything I do is totally unique and not influenced by anything. But it's more so that like I just can't really think what has directly influenced me over the years.
I think that makes sense. I think for a lot of us, it's just a combination of things, and when it's a combination of things, it's really hard to label it.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes sense. Cool.
You're making me feel really old, though, by the way. Earlier I mentioned Susie and the Banshees, and that goes back to the early 80s. And here it's like, oh, sketch comedy. Oh, you mean like The State and Exit 57 and The Vacant Lot and, all that stuff from Comedy Central and like the early 90s. And it's like, no, you mean like the stuff that's like recent.
Well, you're old, Alex. You're old. You shouldn't be surprised.
I am old. I am old.
Shouldn't be surprised.
I didn't really like watch a lot of TV growing up.
It's his. You're not old, Alex. He just didn't have a TV. It's okay.
No, I didn't have any choice to watch TV because there's no freaking internet. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, I was.
What else am I gonna do?
I was just playing video
ball?
games. Yeah, I see. Yeah, if you, because when I was like around the time when I was watching TV, it was like college, and it's because I was doing TV radio stuff. So it's like, oh man, I got to see what all the newest shows are doing and all this stuff and blah blah blah. And yeah, I don't. That's a lie. Wait a minute. No, I always watched anime. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I don't watch TV. I didn't watch TV because I was a weeb. I was just watching too much anime, and I guess
like DVDs or whatever was on Cartoon Network.
Like, maybe some less than legal methods. Let's just say that, if this was the 1700s, I might have a bandana and live on a boat. I might have been, give me your anime, or walk the plank.
So what? I'm curious now. Like what? Like Fooly Cooly?
Yeah,
like what? Where are we going here? Like where are we going? Like what? There's a lot of different kinds of anime.
I like Fooly Cooly. Yeah, Fooly Cooly was good. I liked One Piece. I've watched a lot of One Piece. What else is there, man? Because even that was another thing that I cut out of my life when I started game development. Game development ruined me. It ruined me.
Oh man, it's a sad story.
Ruined your animu.
Yeah, because now I can't even really remember. Oh, wait a minute. What the greatest influence, the greatest comedy influence to me is my favorite show of all. I can't believe I forgot it. SpongeBob. SpongeBob is. I love SpongeBob.
Great anime.
So much. It's the greatest anime ever. Greatest
anime. SpongeBob and King of the Hill. I'm glad we're able to reference the two greatest animes of all time.
Hey, there to people overseas, it is absolutely anime,
It should be.
Hank Hill has he responds like how Speed Racer does. Boo! He's just always it's a very Speed Racer thing to do,
That's great.
Let's get into those videos then. You have these queued up? Do we we got to borrow Joe Rogan's Jamie for this. Jamie, do you have those lined up for us?
Jamie, pull that shit up.
Pull that
Jamie.
shit up.
All right, let me pull that shit up right now. I'm gonna pull my Jamie together here.
Jamie, come
on.
on.
Which one are we going with? Which one?
Oh, let's do the top one first. Let's do the top one, Jamie. Sorry, I forgot to yell at you.
Wait a second, top one.
Oh, are you not looking at the sheet? I got links and all kinds of shit there, man.
Oh, you got links.
I got links
shit.
in the sheet.
Okay. Oh no. Okay, I didn't even see you had. I just added this like 2 seconds ago.
No, this has been there for hours. I'm a consummate
What
co-host.
are you talking about,
dude?
I'm talking to Jerry Seinfeld voice. What are you doing,
Jamie? What the hell?
Okay, so let's do this.
You need
all
more
right, I'm going to
DMT,
share
friend.
this right now. All right, let's go.
Okay, so I don't see it.
You will. Oh, you will.
There it is. Thanks, Jamie. Okay. So here we have one of my favorite. Don't play it yet. Jamie, push pause. Jesus Christ. One of my favorite videos of yours is the one that makes fun of Ocarina of Time, with the funny animation of Link picking up a rock.
Wait a second.
Ocarina
of Time.
Come on. Let me.
I've never heard it pronounced that way.
I honest to God don't know why I said it that way. After I said it, I was like, that was wrong. But let's
you're being creative. No, you're being creative. That's what I consider that. You know, it's okay.
I was like, I'm just going to plow through this, and then hopefully Mike and Alex won't notice I said a very important piece of pop culture history incorrectly.
Hey,
and
man.
We'll get no emails about it. But no, you stopped me. And actually, I thank you for that. So you make fun of Ocarina of Time here with funny animation. Link's picking up a rock. He's spanking a bush. And I love how everything involves going inside the Deku Tree's mouth. Real Beavis and Butthead stuff that I know Alex loves, I love. And let's play that here real quick for the audience. Let's let them hear 50 Shades of Green.
Oh, spank that bush. Fuck that rock. And get in his mouth. Young adventurer, if you want to do right by everybody, then you gotta do right by the tree and get in his mouth. Oh, yeah.
I love that.
So I love that too. First of all, if how do you come up with the line? If you want to get right with everybody, you need to get, what is the logic in your brain that goes from if you want to get right with everybody,
I mean, the Deku Tree is sitting there, and he's treeing there, and he's like, hey, before you can do anything else and save the world, get in here. And it's like, all right, I guess this is the start of this journey. I'm going in. It's like that's where that came from, because it's just an absurd. It's an absurd thing to ask somebody. Get in my mouth and clean out my insides. Okay.
That's what we want. We kind of want that play-by-play of the process. So yeah, talk us through that one all the way through. You're playing Ocarina of Time one day,
That's right.
And suddenly you say, my goodness, this has a lot of innuendo. I need to get it off my chest. Was it like that at all?
Yeah, it's actually as I'm playing, I'm just like, yeah, get in his mouth. He wants me to get in his mouth. And then it just slowly, I was like, no, sensual sounds better, A lot of the times
that sounded angry at first. So you at first you started angry, then you went, no, let's go sensual.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. A draft is a draft,
Sure.
But you can always just kind of feel it out. That's with improv. I think improv is just a good way to set it down. And so for that one, it was definitely more. It was a bit more club bouncy. I remember having a 4x4 bass drum, just boons, 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 yeah, just get in his mouth. Boons, boons, boons. Initially, the idea was as soon as you're inside, it's just there's just strobe lights.
Oh, that would have been
strobe
great.
lights everywhere. Yeah, I can't edit that though. I'm not that good of an editor.
Sure.
No, I like what came out though.
Yeah.
It's more Barry White, more Al Green. That sort of vibe.
It also fit a bit more because everybody always talks about the kid who's fucking the rock or humping the rock, but then as I'm looking at the freaking kid that's just spanking the bush, I'm like,
what's he doing?
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, I'm trying to cut this bush. No, you're not. You are not trying to cut that bush. That is not how you would even do it. First of all, you're using your hands like open palm. Like that doesn't look like you're trying to do anything. You liar. You're into it. All right, screw you.
He's using his ham hock hands to just like flatten these freaking branches, and it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You need to use this. Like, are you not familiar with physics and like how this?
You live in a forest. Don't you know any basic landscaping? I know how to use a lawnmower. You guys have swords and whatever. I'm just being petty at that point. So like, it was just a really good opportunity. And then of course Saria. It's always like implied whether or not she has like feelings for Link. I don't know. She's a child thing, like whatever. So she was another.
Well, Link's a child thing too, so I guess it works on like one of those like Fern Gully level.
Fern Gully.
I don't know, like one of those like weird like child movie kind of things.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
That's fine. Whatever. If you want to go that way, that's what. Okay, fine. Just get out of my way and let me go on my adventure.
Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah. So that those three were just perfect for it. So,
and I can't even overstate. Like we're clowning around a bit. But that does get stuck in my fucking head for days, Mike. Days. I'm not just. We had to have you on the show just so you ever had something stuck in your head? You're like, maybe if I just listen to the song for a couple weeks straight, it'll kill whatever earworm I have in my head. We brought you on here today. Maybe just talking to you will be able to just alleviate us from the curse of these fucking earworms that you've created.
You thought wrong.
We did think wrong because this is going to make it worse.
All I have in my head right now is getting his mouth. So,
well, that's yours, and then mine is the Future Police one. It's the policeman who's wearing purple pants and a purple hat
Stylish.
and sunglasses, like he's the frickin' Terminator, and then he's got it looks like a band uniform, like high school band uniform jacket.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like some sort of dress shirt.
Very
I
fancy.
guess.
Very, very fancy.
Yeah, really fancy cop, and he's got a baton. He's got a white baton.
Yeah,
like not a black.
He looked
baton,
like a dancer.
white.
The first time I saw him, I was like, "That's not a cop." What?
It's like he's backing up Michael Jackson, right? Like, like a backup dancer or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That gives me an idea.
Somebody see in the background of like a Justin Timberlake concert. Okay, so let's share
Jamie.
this. Jamie, pull this shit up. We're gonna pull up Future Police.
My wife's gonna be like, "Why? Who is Jamie? Why are you screaming at him so much?"
I love this music.
Yeah, I'm a cop, yeah. I'll arrest them. People that try to escape, I kill them, yeah.
So good.
What absolutely absurd characters. Absolutely
That
absurd
bass.
characters.
It's the last line that kills me. It's the people that try to escape, I kill them. Yeah.
People were like really like, is that a real line? Is that a real line in the game? Yes, it's a real line in the game. Yeah, like
that is a real line in the game. Yes.
So
It's great. But I need to know, like, why did you go full Hetfield with that? Like, is that how you just interpreted the yeah?
It does feel very Metallica. Yeah.
that one is that one was one of the first ones. That's my very favorite video that I've made because I don't know, the music resonates with me. But that was one of the only videos that I made where like the draft was immediately like, oh, this is how I have to make it, because I'm playing it, I see it, I see this guy, I take out Snapchat, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm a cop, yeah. That line, yeah, I'm a cop, yeah. I skipped over the middle one, people that try to escape. I wasn't trying to imitate Metallica, but
that's just what he sounds like. Well, I mean, if a cop was gonna say yeah, he would probably end up sounding like James Hetfield anyway. So,
well, those cops just love killing, I guess. So they're like, yeah. They don't even say yeah with like an e. It's all yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you can't say yeah.
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
Doesn't go well.
You gotta go yeah.
It definitely fits better. That one was really fun for me to make, and a little.
That's my favorite one. And that's my favorite one musically because it's got that weird like, early 80s like dark wave, like I don't know what it is about it. It's that bass line, I think it is. Are you actually playing bass?
I was going to ask, that bass line kicks. What's up with that?
It really does.
I play every instrument that is being played on all of my songs. I don't like do things on a DAW. I only record on a DAW. I have a drum set. It's an electronic drum set. And then I have I'm a bass player at heart, so for that one, that's probably the other reason why I really like that, because I don't usually get to do complicated or stand out bass lines, but they're the first things that I usually will write into a song with the drums. So, I mean, the composition for that one is, I think it's, okay, so I have one guitar that's just going balloon, bass that's doing, the bass that's doing all the way. There's actually two bass lines, one that's just finger picked and one that's being slapped. The drums, what else did
you got a lot of reverb going there too.
Yeah, there is a lot
of a certain style of reverb, I should say.
Yeah, I have an effect pedal called the Grand Canyon, and it has a lot of good echoes and reverb styled echoes. Well, some people, if you're a music fan and you're gonna come at me for that, all reverb is a kind of echo. All right, relax. Okay, I get it. So some people might. There's a lot of snobs among that. Anyway, yeah, so I have a really good echo pedal, so I was able to fix that up. What else did I have in that? Oh, right, I think it's the XV5080. It's a Rompler on my...
Oh, wait a second. XV, I'm familiar with them.
The
XV pedals?
No, XV. It's an XV synthesizer. It's a Rompler, so...
I'm sorry.
So,
okay.
I mean, you might have heard it because it's one of the famous Roland ones. Everybody loves those ones. That's why they put it in the Jupiter XM, because they were like, oh, yeah, let's just put all of these great sounds on it. So I picked one random string one, and that's in the background, the kind of gives it
it sounds awesome.
It gives it a little bit of I don't know what to say. I don't know what I would describe it as, but it feels good. It felt good to play it and make it. So
good job. I love it.
So what's on your radar then? Okay, so you talked about oh god, what was the game? Wild Arms, Xenogears,
Grandia,
something like that. Grandia, close enough. PS1 RPG du jour, I guess. We're gonna be seeing some Grandia.
Yeah, that was going to come out today, but then I was like, this one's good. This one is good. It doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, and honestly, I'm kind of stretching, but the song I really like, so I'm going to try my best. The problem with Grandia is that there's some videos with it that there's plenty of footage context, and then there's some where it's I don't know if I really want to I would love to give you guys a sneak peek if you guys want afterwards to see what you guys think and be like, yeah, it's cool. Nah, it's not. I don't want to spoil it to anybody now because it's might be a little I don't know. It's also
risque,
it's also
weird, scandalous.
It's definitely aggressive.
Aggressive. Oh, I like it.
But it's It's influenced by what's that one song? Push it to the limit.
Oh yeah, from GTA.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. From what do you call
Scarface.
The Scarface. Yeah.
And all of those '80s influenced things. It might not be as aggressive in the way that it sounds, but it's very aggressive in what I'm saying.
Right.
About the game. Definitely not appropriate for kids. Nothing I do is appropriate for kids.
Oh, yeah, we know that. I mean, you got a whole thing about a guy fucking a rock. Well, we got it.
Oh yeah. I try not to be too only sexual with my jokes, but come on,
I mean, that's perfect. That one wrote itself.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Grandia. Right now, what I'm doing is I keep bringing it up, so I'm just gonna make a quick PSA, kids. People watching this, if you're going to commit to something like game development in which it sucks away all of your time, try to still make time for things that you enjoy. I have not played as many video games in those 5 years. It literally sucked the life out of I played maybe 1.5 games a year. Was able to beat. It was like beat one short game, get halfway through longer games. Very, very. I don't want to say it wasn't like a bad time of my life, but it was certainly something where like I just missed being able to show being creative. And also I'm a game collector. I own expensive games. I go out and I buy expensive games. Why have I not played them? Why did I spend this money?
What's your go-to system?
GameCube. Sorry.
GameCube. Okay, so what is your top 5 GameCube games? Go.
Tales of Symphonia, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door. Let's take a look back real quick. Big fan of... Do I want to say it?
No one's going to beat you up except for Alex. He gets defensive.
Skies of Arcadia Legends.
Come on. Skies of Arcadia is great. Yeah,
this is hard.
Especially the GameCube version is the one to play too.
Yeah, that
over the Dreamcast version for sure.
That one was a hard. Oh man, this is hard. What else?
You can just do top 3.
Yeah, all right. I was gonna say like Eternal Darkness, and I guess.
Oh, that one's great.
Yeah,
Eternal Darkness is amazing.
Yeah. It's just hard because there's other. As I look, I'm like, no, wait, I like that game a lot too. Oh, wait a minute. The Resident Evil 1 remake was on that console.
That's what happens.
It's hard, but yeah, those are the ones
You're
that
a
I think.
GameCube guy then. Okay,
GameCube,
so we got an
Dreamcast,
N64.
yeah.
So we've got 3 generations here. I'm a Super Nintendo guy. We got the N64 guy, Trav.
I'm an
and
N64
you're the GameCube guy. Yeah, that's your thing. You're all collecting every freaking N64 game that's under the.
Oh, I'm doing that for
sun
everything. I just happen to have a lot of N64 games. You're right.
That's what you're gonna do, though.
N64
but I'm an NES
is
guy. You might not have heard. I have a YouTube channel. It's called NESFriend. You might want to check it out. It's got NES games.
Oh, I thought it was the Loch Ness Monster. I thought that was what. Anyway,
Loch Ness Monster game.
Yeah, you're just very into cryptid hunting.
I actually am real huge into it.
I love that stuff. Anyway, sorry.
The Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
Just cryptids, man. They're everywhere, Alex. Are you telling me you don't believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That was my nickname in high school, Sasquatch. Fun fact for you.
Oh, wow. It's probably because you were good looking, right?
Yeah, well, let's say it's that and not my size, I guess.
Or because you were a monster truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you a truck?
I was, in fact, a truck.
He might have been. He might have been a trunk. You ever a trunk? Might have been a truck. You ever think of that?
This is some hard-hitting journalism.
I ruined that joke.
It was an internship. No. I see. This is all being creative. Sometimes you just got to throw stuff at the wall. But it was an internship at Transformers. I was a Transformer, and they were like, "All right, you're a truck now.
Be the best truck you can be." With what's his name, Peter Weller as your voice. I don't know if it was Peter Weller, but. Well, Peter Weller's gonna voice you now, but
that'd be great.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
That would be cool. I don't know why I thought of Peter Weller. I don't know why I thought of RoboCop, but anyway,
Love RoboCop.
Weird choice.
Oh man, that movie's awesome.
Real
quick though, I gotta ask because I don't know what your goal is with your YouTube thing. I know it's a way to first and foremost, it seems like it's a way to flex a creative muscle that you've left dormant for 5 years while you tried to make a video game, but these days. It seems like if a creator wants their stuff to be proliferated and popular on YouTube, they got to kind of kowtow to that YouTube algorithm. And your videos are shorter, typically under a minute, sometimes even less than half a minute. Do you have any thoughts on how you might overcome that to get your stuff out there? Is that even a worry? What's your...
That is the first time the word kowtow has ever been used on this podcast. Just want to throw that out there.
It's a new
Thank
sentence.
you.
Brand new sentence.
Put that in the spreadsheet. Yeah, spreadsheet.
Brand new.
I'm actually going to write that down because I am not very good with vocabulary, as you guys might have been able to tell.
Yeah, it's been an issue. Yeah, so what do you think? What is your stance on that? Your opinion? Do you care about any of that stuff?
I have to be honest with you. This is gonna sound so dumb. All right, I've already achieved all of my goals for YouTube. Two goals: 100 subs, so I get my channel URL. That was the first one, and the second one is to be invited to something. So thanks, guys. You helped make my dreams come true. That's it.
I'm a cop.
Wait,
yeah!
this doesn't mean you're going to quit making videos, though, does it? That would suck. I
No.
retire. It's been a good run, guys. Thank you so much.
No, but at this point now, it's like
No,
the sky's the limit. I don't.
You gotta keep playing Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah,
you gotta keep going. You gotta play If. You gotta play Nocturne. You gotta play everything.
I still haven't finished the first one. My
Oh my god, the first one's not worth it. Just go to the second one.
my game crashed 2 hours without saving because I don't use save
no.
states. So,
Oh no.
yeah, that was bad.
No, just go to the second one. The second one starts out really freaking cool. It really does. Like the first, I was really shocked at like, whoa, everything is like super different and super fun, and like this is completely, it's the same but not. And I loved how it started. But eventually, you know, of course, it comes back and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
I'm definitely gonna finish that up. So Travis, to what you were saying, I do have longer videos down the pipeline, but right now, as I think I have like 325-ish subs, which is, you know, whoops, sorry. I keep apologizing as though I'm smacking into somebody else and not just my pop filter. Right now, like, you know, thanks to people like you guys who think my videos are funny and the Shin Megami Tensei community, because they are really watching, and in some small parts the Metal Gear community and the Silent Hill communities.
They hate you? They're
No,
like,
they
stop dunking on our sweet games?
There are people that do think that I am dunking on the games. And you know what? I am. In what world is a teenager going to go and save the world? How many times? If I make fun of Grandia doesn't have a huge fan base, so whatever. But if I make fun of Grandia and somebody comes out of the woodwork, oh, this guy doesn't get it. Like, what's there not to get? Like, this dude he's 14 years old. He wants everybody to call him a man, goes and gets into combat with 35-year-olds and who've been training their whole life, beats them in combat, all in the name of adventure. Yeah, there's nothing silly about this game. It takes itself so seriously. Come on.
Yeah, but he's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
He's chosen.
See, this is why
by the gods or someone or something somewhere.
That's why I like Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger doesn't take itself seriously. There's no chosen ones. It's just like, hey, this amulet puts you in a really shitty situation. Get to work.
Yeah.
It's like, that's it. You know, that simple. It's like, oh my God, like honestly, if they were responsible, they'd be like, hey, maybe we should get more people in on this.
If they were responsible, let's go to the King of Guardia. Let's discuss this.
Like hey, you know, even if they don't want to do that,
no, let's take this freaking thing and let's go travel through time. And no, wait, let's go back and level up on Gato.
Yeah.
Let's do that instead.
7 people, magic against several million-year-old creature. What can go wrong? Let's go for it. Who cares?
Nothing. Nothing.
I can't believe I'm that forgetful. I was like on a rant. I was like, yeah, Shin Megami Tensei. I'm going to make these videos. I want to push things out there. But right now, I just want to focus on kind of just putting things out there. I guess that's what I was trying to say. I really just want to be able to be consistent, and fighting an algorithm doesn't really make sense to me. Building a community around people that like will watch my stuff and think it's funny, that's all I care about. And if I, the Shin Megami Tensei community, they really are like stepping up. I actually got my first, I was on the subreddit and somebody else posted my video. I'm like, yeah, this is great. These small
That's always
steps,
awesome, man. It's great when you see other people peddling your stuff. That's when it's...
Yeah, exactly. You know,
when you don't have to do it yourself as much, it's so rewarding.
Yeah,
so cool.
I think it's fun. And I don't care about, I don't know, I don't have an idea of like, I want to be able to pay my bills with this. Maybe my not credit card bill, what am I saying? My phone bill, that'd be cool, you know, $40 a month. Like
maybe, it's within reason.
Yeah, you know, that's all right. But to me, like, it's not about money or building up an empire, you know, as you guys, you know, I envision it. I'm like, yes, like I want to see these retro games. Just, you know, people need to be watching these. People need to go and see Home Alone 2. They need to see that game. They need to watch that game.
I got to see you meme it. You're right, though. There are creepy guys in the bushes smacking at kids. I was so frustrated playing the game, I didn't even realize how ridiculous that was.
Yeah.
Now that you've mentioned it, I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, Travis.
It's just pedophiles everywhere.
Exactly. They are like...
It's not okay.
Coming out of the woodwork. Travis, you have no idea how valuable your videos are for those creative juices. You as well, Alex. Like you guys showcase these things, and you don't even realize, like, man, games are stupid. Games are really stupid sometimes.
Really you're gonna get a kick out of tomorrow's videos. Let me tell you.
I can't wait for that.
Oh God, it's gonna be you're gonna be so disappointed and so overwhelmingly like just dumbfounded, and it's gonna be bad.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be bad. That's all I'm gonna say.
I look forward to all of it.
Can't wait. But to what you're saying, this I mean, we're gonna segue you out of this show here pretty soon. You've been a lot of fun. We've kept you at least an hour, and I appreciate that. But speaking of dunking on games and how ridiculous they are, folks, listen to Tales of the Lesser Medium out there. Funny podcast, me and Caleb J. Ross, too. We're all the time dunking on games and how silly they are. It's the whole point of the podcast, so check that one out. But more so than that, please go find Very Cool Guy Mike on YouTube. Evidently, it's easy now. You just go to youtube.com/VeryCoolGuyMike. He's right there. He's also on Twitter as Very Cool Guy Mike, which how was that not taken? How many mics out there suck so bad there wasn't already like 10 Very Cool Guy Mikes? Like, how do you not have like 10 numbers beside of that?
Yeah, it's not Very Cool Guy Mike, like 11 or 12.
Yeah, underscore X.
Amazing.
I'm pretty sure nobody is as sarcastic as I am, because like Very Cool Guy Mike, like, oh yeah, this guy really thinks he's cool. Like, no, I don't. It's, that and my other username. Both. People are always surprised that I got both.
What was your other username? Like Big Sweaty Guy or
Sweaty
something
Naked
like that?
Man. Sweaty Naked Man.
Which I will say, not as threatening as it sounds when it adds you as a friend.
Yeah, it's
We can edit that out if you want, but
no.
I just saw that and I was like, oh yeah, it's about time we got a big sweaty guy in here.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Makes this chat room a sauna, the Swedish Finnish sauna I've always wanted to be.
So everyone, please check out Mike's stuff. We'll have links in the description. Follow him. Check out this stuff. Laugh a lot. Share it with other people. That would be great. Any parting words? I feel like I'm about to execute you. Do you have any final words, Mike?
Parting words.
It was a good life.
You've never done this with any other guest, Trav. Just let's go.
I suddenly forgot how we got rid of people. Mike, get out of here. No, this has been great.
Dude, Mike, you've been awesome. You're hilarious. Your channel is really funny.
Thank you, guys.
I hope you keep making memes about old RPGs, and I hope that just your sense of humor is just contagious. Like, I think it's funny. Trav thinks it's funny. I hope we spread the word and make other people think it's funny too. So thank you for taking the time to come on our podcast.
Thank you guys, and also I want to say sincerely, thank you for believing in me. It's not every day that I can like say that to express my gratitude, but it's so weird when you feel like people don't believe in you, and now people do. It's like, wow, it's great, Anyway, thanks again. Thank you.
Yeah, keep up the good work, man. All right, everyone, that has been another Drunk Friend podcast. As always, you can reach out to us with questions or comments at drunkfriendpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. We'll respond eventually. We will. Sorry we're slow. Please head over to polymedianetwork.com if you want to hear more podcasts. We got Tales of the Lesser Medium, Petey's Power Hour, Polykill, Indie Quest, and more.
Hey, if you're not interested in sending an email, that's not a big deal. Just, give us a rating and a review on a podcast app of your choice, and that'll help us out big time.
You can find all of us on social media. On Twitter, I'm at TravPlaysGames. Alex is, of course, at SNESDrunk, and you can find Very Cool Guy Mike at, you're not gonna believe this, at Very Cool Guy Mike.
What a great Twitter handle. Like, what if I was like Very Cool Guy SNESDrunk, even though that would never fit on Twitter. But as always, the music you heard at the beginning and you can hear right now was composed by our friend Cooler. The track you hear is called Electric Starbounce, and you can find a link to more of his music on the Buzzsprout podcast page. Shout out to Josh Leslie for our thirst-quenching logo.
Be sure to catch us all on YouTube. And thanks for listening.
We hope you have a great rest of your day. Yeah!
Have a what?
And we hope you have a great rest of your day. You can put that in there if you want.